pleased to have with us today Paul Brown. Mr. Paul Brown is an award-winning director and producer, and here he is in Colombia in a university fair for the students who are interested in study film in the New York Film Academy. So Paul, tell us until now, what is your experience here in Colombia?
Well, I would say the one thing that I've really enjoyed is how surprised I was to find how beautiful Colombia is. And I think it would be wonderful if filmmakers here knew that, and that there's an opportunity to tell stories that show the entire picture of Colombia. That I think in America we have a distorted perception of what Colombia looks like. And the tendency for a lot of filmmakers is to try and do something that has lots of action and excitement. So that would lend itself to doing crime stories or drug stories. And I can say that recently I made a movie in Brazil called Heaven's Rain. And many Brazilian people came to me and said, please, please portray Brazil the way it is. You know, there are favelas, there are drugs, but there's also beauty, and there's people that are warm. And someone might say, well, why would you want to show that? There's no conflict. But, you know, there's incredible human drama that exists. It doesn't have to be about getting guns out and having drugs. You can tell fascinating human stories that have nothing to do with those subjects. So, getting back to your question, I am amazed at how beautiful Colombia is, and I think, in a sense, there's a responsibility for Colombian filmmakers to reveal the world, not just the dangerous world, but the entire world of Colombia.
Director, producer, writer,
Right.
you know the industry inside very well. In what of those areas are you working right now?
Right now I'm writing a screenplay that is set in the French Riviera, and part of it is because I want to go to the French Riviera, and then also I'm writing a comedy that has drama in it. So, you know, there's a tendency to want to do genre, and there's nothing wrong with that, but I personally believe oftentimes younger filmmakers want to do genre because they can write stories about them. But there are more mature filmmakers that look at telling a story that involves comedy and drama, and there's a continuum, so that when you write something that's dramatic, you try and find as much humor in the drama, and when you write a comedy, you want to find as much dramatic material in the comedy, I believe, so that your story has more balance. So for me, the highest level of writing is writing a story that involves humor and drama.
You tell us for the new screenwriters that right now the screenwriters think to do cool movies, to talk about the cool movies.
Right.
But it's very interesting to tell the people that what is good to be the story that you say about cool movies, the difference about cool movies and the story.
Yeah, the temptation for
Love the story.
Yeah, the temptation for younger filmmakers is to try and be cool. And the problem with that is that oftentimes the stories are copying other filmmakers. So there's really nothing truthful in the story. So that, you know, I had a great teacher who once said that cool is the death of art. Because when you're trying to be cool, you're putting on a mask and you're hiding. And great writing is about revealing. It's about revealing secrets and taking off a mask. So if you're writing movies that are just about being cool, you might as well be doing terrible music videos or people posing, doing gang signs, girls in bikinis. Nothing wrong with that, but it's not a story, it's a music video. And don't pretend you're an artist, don't pretend you're a writer if you're copying Quentin Tarantino. As I've said before, you know, we have Quentin Tarantino, we don't need another Quentin Tarantino.
It's unique in your...
Yeah, and that, you know, we need somebody that's going to do something original and valuable. And, you know, the thing is, again, in your 20s, you haven't had tons and tons of life experience. So there's a temptation to gravitate for something that's popular. But I've just seen a lot of filmmakers make one film and they never make another one. Because they're just chasing after someone else's dream. And they have no story to tell, so.